Welcome back to our daily recap. Today we've got a lot to cover, including a gigantic fine for Google in Russia, the latest GDP numbers, and new allegations against Boeing. Let's dive in. Russia's unbelievable fine for Google. Kicking things off with a jaw-dropping story out of Russia. A Russian court has slapped Google with an astronomical 2.5 decillion fine. That's $2.5 trillion. The reason? Removing Russian state media channels from YouTube. This figure, which doubles weekly, stems from 4 years of unpaid penalties. But let's put it in perspective. Russia's GDP sits around $218 trillion, and Google's market cap is about $2,025 trillion. Clearly, it's a penalty beyond any realistic collection. Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Google halted ads in Russia, which led to the seizure of Google's bank accounts and the bankruptcy of its Russian subsidiary. Still, YouTube and Google's other free services remain accessible in the country. President Biden defends remarks on garbage rhetoric. Next up, President Biden is clarifying comments he made about Donald Trump's supporters. While responding to a joke from a comedian at a Trump rally that described Puerto Rico as garbage, Biden seemed to refer to Trump's base similarly, sparking backlash. In his statement, he emphasized that his words were aimed at the hateful rhetoric, not all Trump supporters. Vice President Harris and other Republicans have distanced themselves from Biden's remarks. Meanwhile, Trump, ever the showman, leaned into the moment by climbing into a garbage truck draped in campaign flags, declaring it in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden. This dynamic has added to an already heated election atmosphere. Pennsylvania, voter registration fraud investigation. In Pennsylvania, election officials are investigating what appears to be an organized attempt at voter registration fraud. Lancaster County reported around 2,500 suspicious forms submitted just before the deadline. Authorities noted issues like fake names and identical handwriting, and officials are making sure no ballots are issued from these applications until they're verified. This discovery highlights the vigilance of election workers, with the Department of State praising their alertness. Lancaster County's district attorney and the election commissioner are committed to thoroughly investigating this illegal and immoral incident, with similar issues now being checked in nearby counties. Defense Secretary's warning on North Korea's role in Ukraine conflict. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has issued a stern warning to both Russia and North Korea, emphasizing the global impact that North Korean troops joining the Ukraine conflict could have. When questioned about other nations possibly sending their own troops to Ukraine, Austin stated that any escalation would likely prompt international responses, but refrained from speculating further. This delicate moment has many on high alert as countries closely monitor any developments in North Korea's military engagement. Austin's statement is being interpreted as a clear signal of potential repercussions if North Korea further involves itself in this conflict. U.S. economy's robust growth amid high interest rates. In economic news, the U.S. economy grew at a steady 2.8% annual rate for the third quarter. Consumer spending remains strong, contributing significantly to the growth despite rising interest rates. While some sectors, like business investment and construction, have slowed, spending on equipment is booming. One key takeaway here is that inflation is moderating. Core inflation rose just 1.5%, its lowest rate in over 4 years. The Federal Reserve has even hinted at more interest rate cuts in the coming months. President Biden weighed in, calling the report a testament to the country's economic resilience and progress since he took office. Boeing's overcharges exposed in Pentagon report. In a bit of corporate news, Boeing is facing scrutiny after a Pentagon watchdog reported that the company had significantly overcharged the U.S. Air Force for C-17 spare parts. These included a markup on soap dispensers by nearly 8,000%, leading to about $1 million in overpayments. The Inspector General noted that such inflated costs could impact the availability of crucial parts under Boeing's long-term contract with the Air Force. Boeing countered that its pricing accounted for specialized military standards, but this issue could have broader implications for the C-17 fleet and Boeing's defense contracts through 2031. Trump's unique campaign rally stunt. Wrapping things up with a story from the campaign trail, former President Trump recently made headlines in Wisconsin by arriving in a garbage truck adorned with his campaign logo and flags. The truck, part of his motorcade, was a humorous jab at Biden's recent remarks about Trump supporters. Trump jokingly called it in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden, using the opportunity to continue capitalizing on Biden's garbage comment. As the election heats up, these displays keep attention firmly on the candidate's every word, making each rally and public appearance a moment for potential controversy. And that's it for today's recap. If you found this update informative, give us a like and subscribe to stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.